thank you so much for joining us. You know, that's the one thing about our virtual community is it's just as strong as when we're in four walls together. It's really been so amazing to see how many people have committed to their practice, built their own home place, their little studio, their little nest that feels really comforting. And you are also inspiring, and know that you're helping everyone else stay accountable and feel the need to come to class and make themselves feel better, breathe better, be better, move better. So thank you all for coming and really dedicating to your practice through quarantine. Well, does anyone have requests for today before we begin? You guys are just the easiest to please crowd. Well, my goal today was to work on your hip flexors a little bit in case you're planning on being sitting and traveling. Maybe you're driving to family, or you're sitting a lot for work. Hip flexors, because of our bent position with our hips, the front of the hip gets shortened, the psoas muscle. So we're going to work on lengthening that today. Welcome to your practice, and please meet me back on your mat. I hope you have a cozy spot. I'm going to turn my little space heater around because it's quite cold where we are in South Jersey. Still lots of snow. I know you New Yorkers probably have some snow too. And as you're making your way down, we're going to start in tabletop today, but let's try for some seated cat-cows. If you can sit comfortably on your heels. If not, you can put pillows and things either between your feet or under your buns and in between your heels. That could make it more comfy. And if you have to, you come to cross-seated. But we're going to try to hold our knees or onto the sides of our thighs. Exhale, rounding our backs away from our knees, and then guiding ourselves forward with a gentle tug on the legs in some way. Cow posture, tail up, head back, navel forward. Press again. You could also use the floor if that's available to you. Angry cat. Inhale, find cow. Breathing big and expansively here. Try one more like this, a rolling cat-cow. Try to squeeze all the air out of your belly on this one. Breathe in, open your belly. And then rise up off of your heels. Inhale, arms rise. Come to kneeling if you were on a cross-legged position. Let your fingertips fall right under your shoulders. And then just super gently sway yourself, walk yourself out to a tabletop. Knees under your hips. Hands under your shoulders, and then begin a very smooth process of just moving forward, moving back, possibly circling, bringing a tiny bit of weight into your hands. Tuck your toes and do the same. Let's try one more big breath in and out. And when you're ready, untuck toes, reaching arms forward for a closed knee, child's pose. This is a great place to remind ourselves that we can come to any time in class. Draw your nose close to your knees and rest your forehead right down on the ground. Try to take some big breaths, noticing your belly rising up off your thighs, your back ribs expanding and your sides widening. And then please make fists with your hands. Your pinky side is down, your thumbs are facing the sky. And as we keep our head bowed, we're going to try to press our right arm away from our hip, elevating it to any degree. Release back. Left arm, same thing. Push and extend. Release back. Let's use a breath in on one side, a breath out on the other side, and just very softly extending and releasing here. Warming up our shoulders. Let's try 2 more on each side. Breathe in, breathe out. All through practice today, moving as your breath dictates, 1 breath per movement. Let's bring palms flat. Take a rest, roll around if it feels good, and then bring your palms into a prayer. Pinky side down again. Rest your elbows on the mat, and then retuck your nose towards your knees, and draw your thumbs to the nape of your neck. Warming up backs of our arms. While you're here, yogis, walk your elbow tips forward, and then redraw your nose back towards your knees. Feel a little pull through the back of your upper arms. This may feel really great in your shoulder blades as well. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, release fingertips back overhead, spread arms open in child's pose, and then look up towards fingers. One more bit of work before we find our table again. Come back to seated. If you can't sit on your knees, prop yourself up or cross your legs. And just simply sitting tall, drop your chin towards your chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Eye gaze can be really soft here or possibly closed. Chin towards left collarbone. Take a breath in and a breath out. And only if it feels good, keep your ear where it is, but swivel your chin skywards. Come back forward, chin forward, neck forward, sit up really tall again. Shake out your shoulders if you collected any tension. Drop right ear, right shoulder. Breath in and out, maybe blink your eyes closed. Really nice to block out stimulation and immerse yourself in your breath. Chin towards right collarbone. This is my favorite one. Some people like to take their fingers while they're here and kind of palpate around, just like you're playing the piano, just little fingers. Possibly turning chin towards the sky. Keep your ear right where it is, but be careful here. Listening to your body to make the best decisions today. Eyes back forward, blink them open, re-rise all the way up to the shins, and let's find table again. Officially known as bird dog in yoga. We're gonna tap our right toes back, get a little bit of motion in this ocean, rocking forward and back, stretching your Achilles and your calf. And we're making our way into bird dog slowly today. So cross your right toes over the left pinky toe, and then create a C shape with your body. Tip over the left shoulder and try to peek at your right big toe. Take a big breath in, watching that your navel is still connected up towards your spine, strong in your core. Come on back forward, top of head away from your tail, and extend your right leg out to the side now, like a gate pose. Soften your knee, and then walk over just a tad to the left, possibly even scooting your left knee over a little bit. With straight arms, we're gonna try to lift our outer thigh. Are you ready? Breathe in. Lift your right toes off the ground if you can. Don't worry about what your foot's doing, but try to keep especially your left arm straight. If you need to, you can come to fingertips to really hold it straight. Softly land your foot. Woo, maybe you have to shake out a wrist or two. Good job, yogis. Working on those hips. One more time, just for 3 seconds. Are you ready? Breathe in. Straight arms if you can. Breathe out. Squeeze outer thigh. Point your toes. Flex them. Maybe move around if you can. If your left elbow really wants to bend, tent the fingertips. Good. Release. Woo. Okay. Stretch into child's. Turn your palms up. Let your wrists be free for a second. And as promised, we are ready for bird dog. So come on back. Palms down. Tabletop. Right foot extends behind. Navel up and in as your left thumb comes up overhead. Go super active in everything here. Fingers, toes, maybe we move through our ankles and our wrists. Coming out into diagonal, we're reaching through outer shoulder, outer thigh, really stretch long. See if you can extend 1 inch longer. Staying steady in belly and hips, breath full back to the front to back. And as soon as you arrive, bend knee and elbow to 90 degrees. Try to keep really level here in your belly and your chest. One more big breath in. Exhale, release down, crunch into a little ball. Elbow past the knee. Bring your nose all the way to your knee. Elbow into your belly. And release. Well done, yogis. Woo. So if you need to, a little stretch here. Okay. When it feels good, step your left toes back. Begin a little rock. And we have a lot of wrist work happening now, right? If your wrists are really cranky, you can do what I'm doing. Make a fist and push the knuckles down. This is a very strong wrist. We can't do this in something like down dog, but anything like a plank, a tabletop, we can always do this. Let's cross our leg, left toes over the right pinky, tap down, and make a big C with your body. Belly in, open left side, crunch the right side, peek at your left big toe. Feel your outer thigh stretching on the left side, outer hip. Notice that sensation and send more breath there. Coming all the way back. Here comes the fun part. Step your left leg out wide. So we have our gate lower half. Soften this knee. And then walk hands just a tad to the right. I like to move my right knee over, just a little footprint, okay? All right, now let's soften our knee, straighten our arms, breathe in, and we're gonna lift. It's hard, isn't it? Sometimes I can't lift, so don't worry if you can't, but try. Squeeze the outer thigh, and then we wanna drop into the right elbow. So to prevent that, you can tense your right fingertips. Don't worry about what your toes are doing, just lift. 3, 2, shorter lift coming, release. Oh, you need to shake out. Okay, tough stuff. Feel like I ran a marathon right there. When you're ready, one more, 3-second rise. Inhale, use a strong abdominal brace. Exhale, squeeze your left outer thigh. Might need to tent the right fingertips. Release. I'll bring it back in, yogis. Stretch into child's. Turn your palms up for just a moment. Take a huge inhalation, re-energizing, and a full exhalation, releasing any tension. When you're ready, re-rise, palms down, table, into our bird dog. Left leg extends. Now we have closed hips, right? They want to get wonky. We're going to squeeze them together. And a braced belly. Right thumb up overhead. Push as long as you can, and then energize even your fingers and your toes. Great time to really awaken them, move them, breathe into them. Coming out to the diagonal, very slow, smooth, strong squeeze. That was 4 S words in a row. Did you catch that? Tough one. One more big breath in. Back front to back, inhale. And then when you're ready, 90 degrees in both the elbow and your knee. Try to keep your hips squared, your belly engaged, and most importantly, your breath flowing. Extend all the way back forward and back. And then crunch, yogis. Elbow way past the knee. Curl yourself into a tiny, tiny little ball. Release down. Whew. Let's get off our knees. Tuck your toes. Make sure you're wide enough that you feel stable as you elevate your knees to a hover. Remember our turbo table? And then lift your hips, making it a turbo dog by bending our knees. Once the hands get wide, hover them again like a turbo table, lifting all the way up. I like a little bounce, kind of like you're easing in. So you've got a little bounce, bounce, buns to heels. And then maybe a little bounce, bounce, buns to wall behind you. One more round. And then find a great alignment for your body to find a bent knee, downward facing dog. We bend our knees in the beginning here, or maybe all the time in your dog, to press strong out of our palms and really lift our hips high. Take another big breath in, bending your right knee and straightening your left to stretch out your Achilles. Switch sides, left knee bends, right leg straightens. And let's see if we can roll our spines. Think the cat-cow we did earlier. Find any downward facing dog. Draw your belly in. Drop to knees anytime you need to, but roll forward into plank. Shine your collarbones through the elbow window. Bend your knees and roll back to downward facing dog. Use as much spinal movement as you can. We'll try twice more. Inhale. Maybe I drop to my knees and then pull my collarbones through. Exhale, bending knees and starting the process of rolling back. Finish it by melting heels to the earth. Inhale. We want to try to move as liquidy as possible here. One more breath in this downward facing dog. Let's look at our thumbs, yogis. We exhale and crunch the left knee through, landing between the thumbs. Right leg follows, forward fold. Hang heavy. Put backs of your hands down next to your pinky toes. Bend your knees and your elbows to the best of your ability. And just rest the wrists here. I like to take a moment to shake our necks. No time for tension. And yes to all of the good. Our yoga process and our practice brings into our lives joy, grace, and ease. While you're here, make a fist. Really squeeze your thumb onto your middle fingers. And then whoosh, flick it open really fast. Make a fist. Flick it open. Sound effects help. So sometimes if you make a fist and then you go whoosh, the tension just flies away. All righty, from here, let's tuck our chins to our chests and very slowly roll all the way up to standing. Head comes up, then the arms sweep in any way it feels good for you. Press palms overhead and take a huge lift. through your side bodies. Now, like you're climbing a rope, maybe you do really reach and grab. Can you lift a little longer in the right side, a little longer in the left side? Breathe. One more big climb up. Hold arms as high as possible. Bring eyes forward. Arms fall to shoulder height. Bend your knees and then hinge as you fold this time. Bring chest forward and down. While you find about a halfway lift, see if you can hook your thumbs into the creases at the front of your hips, pressing back. So it's like I'm taking my thumbs and pushing back to find more length. You know I love movement, so I always invite a little wiggle. Sometimes it takes a second, and when you find it, breathe in and continue that hinge on down, releasing thumbs when it feels best for you. Right leg, long lunge back, but we're going to continue today, yogis. Lunges come later. Left leg follows, find plank. Drop to knees if you'd like, but pull your collarbones through and then lower extra slowly, strong in back of arms, all the way into the mat. Walk your toes backwards. Come to suction cuppy fingers like you're gonna squish a tennis ball. Press out of them and begin to squeeze your shoulder blades together. Tuck chin to chest like you're fogging up a mirror under your nose. Elevate your toes, knees, and thighs. Really press them long. Can you open your toes? Energize your feet. And then hover for this last breath through the fingertips. Kiss your elbows in towards your spine. Exhale, release. Press back. Child's pose. Do you want to do that little bounce with me? Tuck toes. Hover your knees. Maybe we go bounce, bounce, buns to heels, rise to dog. Right leg elevates. Take a huge breath in. Look at your thumbs. Step in between. Really crunch knee to belly. And don't worry, if you got stuck back here, grab your ankle, help it. It'll get there. And once it's under your knee, you're good. Back leg steps in. Take a deep forward fold. Next inhalation, you rise in a ripple. All the way to sky. Please don't rush that. That feels so good, doesn't it? Try that little rope climb. Either physically do it or just see it happening. Lengthening here. Arms shoulder height, eyes forward. Maybe we hook our thumbs to press the hips back. We hinge to lower. Adding on a halfway lift. Fingertips slide up the shins. Once again, we're going to gently push them in to lengthen the top of our head, far away from our tail. Shoulders far away from hip bones. If you feel solid in your core, reach your fingertips behind you. Next exhalation, we release to the floor. Inhale, left leg steps back. Exhale, right leg to plank. Take a big breath in, finding your plank. Toes, knees, or press out of tiptoes to scoot forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Once you're in the floor, extend everything away. Refine the tips of your fingers and use them to help you boost. Once you've lifted your toes, knees, and thighs, hover fingertips. And if possible, thumbs turn up and extend as far from one another left to right as possible. Think about airplane wings, really long. Wiggle fingers, wiggle toes, one more breath. Release everything. Exhale, ease back. Possibly a bounce, or maybe you just rise straight to downward facing dog. Left leg elevates. Take a breath in to find your three-legged dog. Look forward, crunch your belly. Help your ankle land under your knee if you need it. Back leg follows, deep forward fold. Let's try either a tick-tock this time, a little tick-tock right to left, or a spin, nose towards heels. And find a really groovy way to rise, something that feels so reassuring. Oh, it feels so good, doesn't it? Really wonderful for the low back. Reach up and overhead. Remember that rope climb? Just can't get comfy enough. Feels so good. And once you do, breathe in, breathe out. Floating to fold any way it feels great, yogis. You've learned all the ways. You choose your favorite. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, release, forward fold. Right leg steps back, but we're gonna add on this time. Let's drop our right knees and then sending the body up. So we lift as far out of the hips as possible, scooting back to two 90-degree knees. Instead of low this time, we're gonna stay high. From here, try to tilt. You may actually wanna do this. One hand on right cheek, one hand on right pelvis. to tilt this way, forward. Tuck your buns under, tailbone down, front hip flexor stretching. Once you're there, right arm rises. If you need to keep the assurance that you're tilting, you can keep your hands there. But if you don't, we're gonna side bend. Right up and over to the left side. You can let your left arm dangle or reach up and overhead and give a little help on that right wrist. One more big breath in. Come back to the center, release fingertips, step back forward. Give your right knee a second. Might need a little moment to get the blood flow back into it. Step to fold, and then take your left leg back. Let's try the same thing here. Kneel, rise, torso, 90-degree knee bends, possibly hand on buns, hand on hips to really scoot tail and buns under. Hip forward. You'll notice a really big, warm sensation in the front of your left hip flexor. You found it. Good job, yogis. Arms rise if you can. Left arm tips over. Oh, man, does this feel good or what? Right hand sometimes can get in the way, right? Your shoulder. So you can let it fall. Hold on to your left wrist. Whatever feels best for you. Just find this beautiful smile shape. And maybe it comes into the corners of your mouth as well. Inhale up, was awesome. Release, step back to downward facing dog this time. Let's take a little vinyasa and clear the slate. Inhale, come forward. Knees or not, can you bring your collarbones more proud forward? Exhale, we release the chaturanga. Option, yogis, we can hover fingertips, spread our arms wide, or this time possibly clasping hands or forearms behind low back. Stretch your knuckles behind you, still fogging up that mirror under your nose. Look down. Toes, knees, and thighs rise. And then if you feel really great here, soft elbows, you might want to pulse back a little bit. Knuckles towards heels. Exhale, rise. Inhale, lower. We have 3 more. At the bottom of that exhalation, release all the way. Take a moment if you need it anytime. Ease back, right to dog, or I love the little bounce. So I'm gonna find child, bounce, bounce. Find energy to rise. Right leg elevates, breath comes in. Look forward, breath comes out. We're staying here in this lunge. Ease your hips down, continue kneeling if you like that best, or rise on up. Now, if you're rising with me, same process. We can take a hand in front, a hand in back. See where my fingers are pointing back? Watch. When I get tucked, my fingers face straight down, right? So that's why it's nice to kind of feel. Some of us don't have the body awareness. Think it's done, but not sure, so check. Yes, okay, good. There we are. Now you probably really bent your back leg to get there. That's great, no worries. Stay, or possibly bend a little bit deeper, tap the left knee and rise. Continue tilting the whole time. Inhale, exhale. We only have 3 more. Not easy, but so worth it. When this gets shortened, we really want to stretch it out in our yoga practice. Last one, hold, release your back leg. Just let the hip do whatever feels good. Float your fingertips down, push back, downward facing dog. Ooh, take a little wiggle, yogis, and if you need a child, do that instead. Free yourself up so we can try the other side. Left leg rise, inhale here. Look forward, step, get yourself aligned, heel underneath your knee. Decide if you're kneeling again or whether you'd like to rise with me. So we don't need our hands, you know what to do. But if it feels better, help yourself. Most likely gonna really be bending if your leg is elevated, that back knee, to get that tilt. Check in, or your front fingertips facing down. If they're still back, try to scoot, scoot, scoot more. Okay, 4 big taps. Breathe in to lower. Breathe out to rise. We can hover. We can lower 1 little inch. We're just moving. We're killing time so that doesn't feel so horrible. Breathing and opening the right hip flexor. Holding at the top, really open wide. Let your leg go wherever the lunge feels best. Release, low lunge, but step forward this time. Deep fold, and you may need to shimmy or bounce your legs. Just free yourself up here. It feels so good. Roll to rise, hinge to rise. Do what's best for you. Standing as tall as you can. Remember to lengthen. finding a chair pose on this one. I have a challenge for you though. Can you reach into forward fold? Keep your fingers down, bend your knees, toes together or wide, you choose. Rise up through your arms, but stay with a knee bend. I always cheat, so watch, I'll show you. If I try to reach back down, oh, can you reach down, stay, and then rise? Well done, yogis. Bring hands to heart center. Start to alternate heels lifting, but think squeeze, think hug, as opposed to, oh, this is hard. Think breathe, squeeze, love my body, release, alternate, left. Spread your toes so they're not clawing, right. One more each way. Feels good, right? Inhale. Arms re-rise, goalpost arms if it's too tough with arms overhead. Staying in chair, shift your weight to the right foot, lift your left heel, and lift the whole knee this time. Arms fall to sides. Give yourself a little balance help. Tap tap left toes over and out. Inhale, exhale. Stay low in your right leg. Really working on the glutes on this one. Think inner thigh, outer thigh. Next two and you're done. Well done, yogis. Inhale, arms rise up and overhead. Oh, that feels good. Exhale, let it all go, forward fold. But right away, fingers stay low, knees bend, buns lower, arms rise. Do you need to check? Did you come here? Check, fingertips to floor. Still low? As low as you can go. Good job, yogis. 2 squeezes on the heels. Right heel up, just getting ready. Left heel up. Woo-wee. Shift weight to the left foot so you can lift your right toes. Tap up and over. And back out. Wiggly, isn't it? 5 more. Stay low if you can. 1 breath each direction. Think about the muscles. Inner thigh. Good. Outer thigh. Last 2. Looking down if you're really, really wobbly. That will definitely help you feel secure. Back into chair. Stand tall. Tumble down into forward fold. You deserve it. Oh. Great job, yogis. Let's go through 2 more rounds here. We're almost done with the really hard stuff today. Shake your head and neck if you need to. When you feel wonderful, your right leg steps back. Find a lunge, but keep arms low. Maybe wiggle out so you feel really long. And then blade edge of right foot falls. So you'll hear people say that traditional alignment is front heel to back heel in this position. I agree and disagree. Some people rise when you're ready, like it to be narrow. For me, I feel very wonky here. Can't square my hips and I can't really feel safe. So I widen. You do what's best for you. We want to feel our right hip coming a bit forward, left hip pulling back in space, and we feel steady. Like if I came and gave you a little shove, I wouldn't topple over. Find that strong steadiness. And one more thing, I want you to think about your bellies. Sometimes we lift our arms overhead and go like this, and we just throw everything out. So we want to instead open our chests, but direct our ribs down and our bellies in. So know this, yes this, be really strong. Then eye gaze can look up once we feel that very strong integration. Ribs down towards hips, navel into spine. One more big breath. Keep it, yogis, as we clasp right thumb on top, behind low back. Keep it, belly in. Ribs down, stay right here or bring your belly over your left thigh, staying or humbling. Give a wiggle into each set of toes. Bring left shoulder inside left knee, creeping down so low that possibly your entire crown falls towards the floor. Now we're going to continue breathing down here. You can elevate your knuckles to any degree, whatever feels good. And if possible, guide your left cheek towards your right heel. Squaring hips for this last breath to the best of our ability. Use your exhalation to begin looking slowly up so you don't get dizzy. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Rotate right heel to ceiling. Release all the way down. Press back, downward facing dog. Great time for a jiggle. Do you want to jiggle your hips, jiggle your shoulders? Look out under your armpits. Just make yourself feel loose. Or when you're ready, chaturanga with me. We roll to plank. Release on the exhalation. The only one we haven't done yet is up dog. Anybody want to do it? Press hands. straighten arms, but also lift knees and thighs. And if this feels really good, you might want to tuck your chin to your chest, relax the back of your neck. You can roll or look over opposite shoulders. That feels so good. Really nice for necks, huh? And when you're done, yogis, I like childs because we get the bounce, bounce. Tuck toes. Rise. All right, onwards. Right leg rises, big breath in. Look forward. You know what to do. We're finding lunge. Get comfy. Be determined here. Tell yourself I am strong. Blade edge of left foot swivels. So you can pay attention to the alignment we discussed earlier. Rise. And then does it feel good for you? Not for me. So I widen. Just throw all those textbooks out the window and make it feel good on your body. Soft back knee, lift it up through the inseam, sealed down through the back blade edge. Swivel. Nice. Once you have it, this, no. Let's come back forward. Ribs down, belly in, chest is open. Then eye gaze can look up. Okay, we're gonna keep all this good core integration. Left thumb on top, clasp behind your low back. Feel like your collarbones just went, yeah, that feels good. Big smile. Option, come with me, a little bit goes a long way. Really come with me, but watch my hips real quick. See what wants to happen? Right hip pokes out. So we want to keep that in check. Right cheek back towards left heel. Left hip point coming forward, even as we humble this warrior. Are your toes able to be wiggled? Is your neck free? Most importantly, yogis, are you breathing? Wherever you've traveled to, enjoy 2 more beautiful breaths in here. Try not to rush that long exhalation at the end. Use that, though, to climb back skywards. All the hard part's almost over. Inhale, arms rise. Rotate back toes in, heel lifted, and can you step directly forward? Stand tall. Big sigh, let all that tension out. Beautiful fingers float to the earth. And let's just love on our body. Shake them out. And then bring both hands over your heart. That just feels good. Why not? And then tip over to the right side. Belly in here. We're going to start balancing. So much so that, whoop, left leg just pops up. All right, we go deeper until we feel really good. We want to get a crease in the right outer hip for a big star pose. When you're there with your legs. Open your arms, making 2 beautiful straight lines. One up and down, and one on the diagonal. If you get really wobbly anywhere, looking down can usually help a lot. Left heel in towards your buns. Wrap around, option, just to really reach for that top of foot. If you can grab it and it feels good for you, do so. Keep reaching right fingertips away and start to put some kick into your left leg so you feel this amazing left front of thigh stretch. Coming up to standing, slowly so we don't topple over. And as you're standing tall, can we, stay where you are, can we give a little tuck to our tail? Notice the knee slid forward, slide that back, and now really stretch long. Option to wrap top hand around the foot as well. If you're still just reaching for it, wonderful job. Keep trying, you'll get there. Staying right like this as we hinge forward. We're finding airplane pose. Left shin and torso comes parallel to the ground. If you get the topsy-turvies, pause where you are. Just try to reconnect to your breath. Once you've found it, extend through. Fingertips as your leg uncurls slowly, reaching everything behind you. Fingers can come under shoulders if you're feeling the struggle is real in your balances today. You only have one more breath, my friends. Can you tuck your chin? Lengthen back of neck, and then exhale, rise to the sky. Big lift, big release. Oh man, standing leg works so hard, doesn't it? A couple ways we can stretch it out. Shake it. I like to roll tops of foot down, and then you can take your thumb knuckle and just really slowly, if there's something really tight, especially glute, thigh, just give it a little rub. All right, all good? Let's do this again. Arms rise. Hands cover your heart. And since we just did this one, if you'd like to do a new one, you can also wrap one hand around your heart like Pledge of Allegiance, and then the other one around your low back. Either work. Tip over to the left side, so much so that whoosh, right leg just lifts. Okay, so you're gonna feel this little crease, and then maybe you can make it bigger. Ooh, did you get that pop? That felt good, but it sounded very scary. Outer thigh kicks in. As soon as you have your legs, extend your arms. So we're gonna go straight up and down, and then on that beautiful diagonal, breathe into your length. Breathe into your width. Right heel pulls towards your butt. I can just continue reaching for it the entire time, working on strengthening your hamstring this way. If you've got it, working on lengthening your quad. Begin to kick into your hand like you want to escape your grasp. Can you relax your jaw? That's asking a lot, isn't it? Imbalances, I know. Come to standing, right up to the sky with left fingers. Work through those wiggles. And then you'll notice that you kind of have like a funky alignment, right? We talked about earlier. So we're gonna try to tuck our tail, bring our pelvis forward a little bit, knee scooted forward, so then we slide that back. Oh, that feels good. Top arm can grab top of foot if you'd like. So if we do squeeze our shoulders out of the picture, we just want to make sure the ribs are still facing down, navel still kissing spine. That feels good. Big breath in, big breath out to find airplane. Right thigh parallel to the floor, as is our torsos. Extend fingertips, extend right toes slowly behind you, like you're a flower slow-mo blooming open. Option, fingertips underneath your shoulders for some extra support. We're here for another breath. Are you able to tuck your chin to your chest? Lengthen the top of head away from your tail. Breathe in fully. Exhale, rise, but lift your knees. Stay strong, yogis. You've got this. We got there together and we release together. We celebrate together. All right, so standing leg, a lot of work there. Do whatever makes you feel good. Anything. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Great job, guys. Arms rise. A little bit more balances, and then we're gonna find the floor. Lift up like we started with, heels. You can always step wider too for more stability. Big toes closer is gonna make it a bit more challenging. Start to bend your knees. I'm gonna show you this one from the side. Do you remember diver's pose? Bend in your knees a tiny bit and then begin sweeping your wings behind you, but they're not just lifted. They're really wide and lifted. Now, as you spread them, hinge from your hips forward. Knees stay bent, but we're gonna float our chest parallel to the floor again for diver's pose. And then for the true challenge, tuck your chin, look at your toes. Straightening your legs once you're in your hinge as much as it feels good on your hamstrings. Breathing. One more big breath. Fingertips float to the floor. Heels are still lifted. And then we release our heels. Bend your knees a little bit. Well done, yogis. Let's widen our feet to about hips width distance. Hold opposite bicep muscles and hang your head. Soften your knees as much as it feels good. Maybe wiggle a little bit. Shake your head and neck. And then possibly do a tiny little bounce, forearms and crown towards the floor. Kind of thanking your hamstrings here for the hard work they've done for balancing. Maybe swing around, elbows or nose towards opposite heels. And before we descend, we're gonna find a gorilla pose. So let's bring our fingertips flat. Now, two ways. Traditional gorilla is super cool and fun. You lift the ball of your foot, you bring your palm under it, and connect your big toe mound with the base of your thumb. Feels good, right? But I like the funky version. So if you want funky with me, bring your fingertips to face your toes. Your thumbs are facing out. You still do the same thing. Lift your ball of feet and slide the back of your hand under. Pretty cool, right? So then you get to step right on the back of your hand. You can do one at a time or both. Then it gets better. So you can bend your right knee and start to roll your toes all around on the bones, all of those bones in your hands. Do the same with your left knee, roll around. If you're really coordinated and balanced, you might be able to do both at the same time. Try to let your head hang during this process. And if you only did one hand, don't forget to switch. Oh, I love that. A little funky. And then if you're really feeling spicy today, you can press down so strong that you might be able to lift your heels. That's scary. It feels like I should put a helmet on before we do this one, right? And even if you just lift for a second or you have the intention of lifting but you don't, it's okay. Good job, yogis. Try one more breath wherever you are. All right, let your hands go. And whatever you did, clasp them, stay in your fold, but roll them through some figure eights so your wrists can just reacclimate. All right, how do you want to find the earth? There are so many ways. We could do a little yogi squat. We can just use our hands and simply fall. I like to do a little squat. Let my buns fall as my chest and fingers reach forward, so it's really soft, like a feather landing. Once you get there, fingertips lean back, feet widen, and just start to shift a little bit, windshield wiping your legs. All righty, so I told you today we're gonna work on our hips, right? Big hip sequence coming. When you're ready, let's go left. Both knees fall to the left, and we just readjust ourselves so that we have 90-degree knees and our heels, right heel directly behind left, left heel directly out from, I meant right heel behind right, left, left. Get your buns adjusted. And once you're here, we're gonna lean back. Now your right leg is the back leg, okay? Fingertips back, shoulders open. You can stay like this. You can stay on palms. Some of us may be able to descend to forearms, but wherever you go, make sure breath is flowing. We're not forcing anything. We're looking for some sensation in the outer right thigh, in the quad, and into the hip flexor here. Breathing where you feel it. Once you've arrived, your chest is going to twist as much as it feels good towards your right leg. And then find some long, slow breaths in here. I like this position because it's really apparent we're breathing. We have these big, beautiful belly breaths. Pretty nice, right? Let's climb back up to where we were. Keep your legs just as they are, but we're lifting our upper bodies. And if your arms kind of went to sleep, give them a shimmy. Left arm comes anywhere. Anywhere that the shoulder can be open for a side bend. Right arm up and over. So this is what wants to happen with the shoulder. We're going to try to lift it, round it, open it, and then tip. Right arm, same. You can land wherever you want. Just make sure, no. Yes. Feels really good to do that. Remember that big smile our collarbones want to create. All right, good stuff coming. So we're going to rest for a moment. Let the legs stay the same, but bring your body forward. Your whole right cheek is going to rise. And this is a great way just to rest. Now we're going to feel outer left thigh. Feel that? Outer left cheek. Okay. Adding on a little rotation here. Inner rotation for the hip. If possible, yogi, soften your fingers. Lift up through the right outer ankle. If you did it, softly lower. Inhale one. Exhale for the second part. Inhale, squeeze. Soft release, exhale. We have 3 more like this. The intention is there. Even if the leg's not lifting, be proud of yourself. Now on the last one, if you can, we're just gonna stay. Just for 3 seconds. Try to wiggle a little bit or just soften your toes if they're feeling stressed. Release. Come back up to seated. Whew, tough stuff, right? Lean back. Let your legs straighten, and they might want to swish or you might want to massage. And then we're going to come out to our forearms, but watch me first. Forearms and legs out. I'm just going to show you in space what's going to happen. We're going to press our elbows down and then push them away from our heels and out towards the sides. But we call it isometric because those moves don't actually happen, but it feels like it's happening. So watch my elbows. I'm going to push them away. That lifted my chest. Push them away from my heels. Push them out. Chest widen. So again, I pushed away from heels, lifting chest. Out left to right, and they widened. And then I like to take my fingers really active and open like a high five. So you feel super strong in the upper body. Feeling it on the front of your shoulder. Maybe in towards the armpit, front of armpit. Keep pushing back and open. One more big breath. Chin to chest, let your belly sag and roll up. Shoulders, wowzers, right? Okay, give it a little roll. Come back to right where we started. Swish, swish, as many as you want, and then we're gonna land to the right, going for those 90-degree knees. So shift your buns around, getting heels behind or in front of our knees. Feel pretty good? Okay, come on back. So I just wanna show you in space what it looks like when we get there, wherever we're going. We're gonna twist towards this left knee. So our chest is forward, then we whoosh. That really helps, okay? Come down as low as it feels good for you. Pay attention to your breath. Just breathe for a moment. Love this position. Belly, lots of breath. And then from the sky, let's see if we have any amount that we can swivel our chest towards our left legs. And listen, in this position, you can squeeze your shoulder blades together. It kind of makes a little pillow, and you're welcome to let your head hang back. Only if this feels good for you. Chest is still twisted towards the left knee. Soften your jaw if possible. I know this is a big one. What do you feel? Sensation in your left cheek, left outer thigh, and maybe into your hip flexor or your quad, right? At the bottom of your last exhalation, any necks that were hanging, chins tuck, and we rise. Walk forward slowly. So now we've moved that sensation into the right outer hip again, yes? Welcome to just stay here or just chill completely. We're gonna work on that inner rotation of the ball and socket, left hip. So belly in, yogis. Relax your shoulders and attempt to squeeze through the outer left foot. Don't you love yogi toes? What are they doing right now, your toes? Aren't they cute? So energized. Use a breath. It doesn't matter which one. Let's say we're gonna exhale on this one. Inhale, lower. Soft. Exhale, tough. Okay, the next one, we're gonna rise and hold. Now just stay with your upper body though. We're not gonna come down here, right? Lift, hold, squeeze. Lots of work here too. 3, 2, and 1. Walk back up to seated. Well done. Take as much of a break as you need. Okay, right arm reaches over. Hips are hard, and hips can unlock a lot of emotion. So if you feel very emotional after a class today, normal. Sit with those, honor those, cherish those, create space for them. Right shoulder. And remember, you can use your body. You know, we all have different bodies. We all have different preferences. Do what feels good for you. There's lots of different ways we can do this side bend. Same with left arm. Find what works for you, but make sure that your left shoulder is open, because this just doesn't feel good, does it? So I want to open and then smile away in the chest. All right, we're gonna go for that stretch one more time. I have no idea what you would call it. Chest, shoulder, hip, body stretch. Come on back, do whatever you need with your legs, and then let your legs come out. Come to forearms. So I really like to get my hands active. I just think it helps the process. Make sure your buns are clear, and your sits bones and your tail isn't getting pinched. And then we're gonna start to press our elbows away from the heels, right? Away helps us lift our chest. Left to right. Ooh, didn't it feel like your chest really widened there? Nice. Now breathe. Tons of capacity for breath here. Isn't there? Really big, beautiful breath. Hey, you can let your head fall back if that feels good for you. Really great way to open our throat chakra, that's for sure. You're gonna find your voice, your power if you do that. One more big breath, yogis. Exhale, release. Tuck chins that were hanging. Roll up to seated. Whew. May need to shimmy a little bit through your shoulders, and then we're gonna find another cat-cow. So clearing the flesh again, holding your thighs, feet flat. Make your knees wide enough that your belly can come through on your cow. Let's round our backs to the walls behind us. Chin tucks to chest, really look down. Oh, that feels good, huh? Come forward, pull on your thighs or your shin or your knee, whatever you're holding. Bring your belly through, tail and top of head come back. Exhale. Does it feel any different than when we started class? Inhale. Maybe it just feels slower. Maybe you feel more full of breath. Hopefully it feels more open and expansive, and like you've got some beautiful shimmery light coming through as you breathe into areas that may have been previously dark. Let your hands go. Let's go one more little hip flexor stretch here. We'll twist and we'll be almost done. Left knee into chest. Cross that flexed ankle over your right thigh. And then whatever your little heart desires. I like to walk buns really close to right heel for more intensity. Fingers swivel in a way that allows you to really open your chest and present your heart towards your left shin. We're going to try to press our left knees away from our heart. And so, you know, everyone's yoga looks different. We create shapes in all different ways. So this could be a really great figure 4, especially if you've got really tight hips. You might not be able to get close to your body. That's okay. Breathe wherever you are and honor your body, honor your breath today. If you enjoy a little rock and roll, welcome that, invite that in. Just brings a really whimsical side to the practice, I think. And let's let everything fall to the right and stay right there. Just got to shimmy our buns around a little bit. So get comfy. Crossing this left foot over the right thigh, and if that feels bad, you can cross it over your right shin instead. We just want to hug it. That's all we're going to do. Thank you, body. Love you, legs. Oh, such good work they did for us today. Squeeze so much that you feel your left outer thigh getting very happy. Now you choose whether we just want to do a big high five here with this leg still bent, twisting around the left shoulder, or option number 2 today, holding on to either the leg or I go outer edge of foot, extending it and then twisting. When we're twisting in this position, we're going to try to think about bringing our right ribs right around the corner to our left thighs. Pull your navel in just a bit tighter, more abdominal brace, and you might find a deeper version of your twist. And then replace your leg anywhere. So it's going to come flat again. I like to cross it all the way over thigh. This is the best. We're going to come inside the left knee. Your whole left cheek rises. And then we slowly, as much as it feels good for you, you could be all the way up here. Open your twist so you can slowly descend if it feels great. 155ers. Ugh, I apologize. I only got you halfway through this last stretch. My bad. Try to do the rest maybe like at your desk in a second. So if you have to go, thank you so much for coming, and I will miss you for the rest of this year. I'll see you in 2021. If you can stay, I have a really beautiful little way to send you off today. Just a few more minutes together if you can. Let's re-rise, and it might take a moment to adjust through your back here. So possibly just leaning back, letting your legs cross in any way, bound angle, or maybe they're still shimmying around, whatever feels good. Take a second, just notice what is. When you're ready to start again, lean back. Some of us like to lift our buns while we cross over. We're gonna lift right knee into chest, cross that ankle over our left thigh, and really flex your foot here. Then do you guys notice how my fingers are facing forward and my shoulders are just cranky? So you do whatever works for you to let your shoulders get really broad and open. And then for all of the cherries on top, we press our right knee away from heart. We may scooch hips towards left heel, more intensity. And we definitely want to really offer our heart skywards. Ah, feels good. A bit of tick-tocking here may be really wonderful for your body. And when it all feels really good, we're going to drop everything to the left. Situate your buttons so you feel your sits bones being anchored, and your right foot is flat over the thigh or in front of left shin. And then we just hug our legs because they did such hard work. They carry us through every day strongly. They help us sit for our big work days, all of the important things. When you're ready, we twist. 2 options. Left arm right on up and over. You can high five and then just relax the arm if it's possible. Or hug, twist, bent leg, or straight leg. And if you do straighten, there's always a micro bend in our knee so they feel really happy. Right hand helps us sit the tallest we can, and I gaze gently twist. One more big breath in here. As you exhale, very slowly untwist. And then if you had a leg extension, let's reset our foot somewhere. So we can turn away. We're going to open twist now. Everything moves away from the thigh, staying really high. Or if this feels good, slowly now, because your back can be a little tender when it's twisting. Come on down. We have 3 really nice breaths in here, and then we'll finish our practice together. At the bottom of that long, quiet exhalation, start to rise. And then just ask your body what it needs here. So it may be really nice just to shift around and find a seated position. Take time to sit with what is and notice how things have changed, hopefully opened, spread a little wider, how your breath has been enhanced. However you feel best finishing your class. I love to kneel, so I'm going to come into a kneeling position. And because this is our last class together for the year, I just wanted to send you off with some well wishes. My hope for you is always to have love and hopefulness in your lives, have a sense of unity in your lives. Certainly this community is one, we move as one, we breathe as one, and it's a beautiful way to feel a part of the bigger collective, even when we're virtual. So I'm super grateful for what we have, and I hope that as a result of your yoga practice, you find contentedness in yourself, that you feel like a better version of you, like you could float right off the mat. Not saying we're not going to have challenges, and we didn't experience a huge amount of challenges this year, but again, my hope is that we can handle and deal with all of the things that arise with grace and ease, knowing that something so beautiful is within us, this wonderful breath practice that we have. We breathe, release, and then respond as we really hope we will instead of reacting. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Thank you so much for coming together with me on Fridays and for allowing me the honor of leading these classes. It is truly such a pleasure. Our practice teaches us gentleness, grace, and ease, and my hope is that you carry this off the mat into your life, truly living your yoga off your mat. My Light Yogis Honors is inspired by and very deeply humbled by your lights. Thank you for sharing those beautiful lights with me, and namaste.